Hi everyone, and welcome to my heart journal. It has been forever. It was so long that I actually had to remember where I put this in my craft room. That is not a good thing because I have been MIA for a little while, but I am back and I have two entries that have been in my brain that I've been wanting to do in my art journal. So I'm just going to get started. So the first one, you know me, I keep saying that I work as I talk, so that's what I'm going to do. So for today's entry, I'm going to start using some tracing. So I want to trace a couple of images out of this magazine. I want to show you guys this magazine. It is fantastic. It's called Soul Body Connection, and it is put out by Spirituality and Health magazine. You can find it in any of your local like drugstores or pharmacies. You know how they have a magazine section. Walmart. I think I got mine at Walmart or Shoppers Drug Mart. I just can't remember. It is phenomenal. Phenomenal. It is so wonderful that I went out and bought two of them, and I'm giving one as a gift because it just has, in this little book, it's just like, oh, everything that I talk about in my art journaling is so in here. So there's two images I'd like to trace. One of them, it's very faint here. It's sort of the lily that symbolizes kind of the Dalai Lama and Buddhism, and it's just that pretty flower down there. And the other one is this girl's arms open wide. So I'm going to go ahead and trace those really quickly. And I am going to just quickly, actually I think I'll start playing around with them and coloring them. Now, the theme of my, the title for this art journal page is called Surrender. And you know, it always hits home to me. When I went to see Oprah a little while ago, I can't remember when this was. But anyway, and she was talking about surrendering and letting things go. And, you know, you hear these things. I've heard Oprah twice, but every time I hear her, I'm just more and more inspired by her. Just for sure. She is so inspirational. And at the time I was listening to her, you know how it is? You hear what you need to hear when you're, it's with anything. You always hear what you need to hear. There's always something, someone says that somebody, I'll pick up something, somebody else in the crowd will pick up completely something else. And so this particular topic, she was talking about surrendering. And she was talking about when she got the role in The Color Purple and how much she truly wanted that role. And she prayed for it. She went to a fat farm. She had gone to the audition, and then finally she just surrendered and gave up. Literally the moment that she surrendered and said, I give it to you, it's out of my hands, I've got to let this go. That was the moment when she got the phone call that she got the part of the, in The Color Purple. So I'm like, oh, that's really interesting, awesome, yay, way to go, Oprah. And then couple of days later, I was dealing with one of those issues in life, you know, where it's out of your control, but you can't shake it, and you really just want that situation to be corrected. Whatever it is, it could be, oh, there's just so many things that could relate to. But you guys know what I mean, where you're almost frozen in time because it's stressing you out so much. It's just, and I think that's a bit of losing control. And so I was going through one of those moments, and honestly, I was making myself almost physically sick. I have very little patience. That is one thing I have to learn is patience. I'm not good with patience. I know that, and just wait and it will come to you. Just be patient. I'm not that person. And so I'm playing with my distress pins. I just want to see what happens if you wet them. So let me grab a little paintbrush. Yeah. Okay, I'll use this one. But anyway, I was so impatient, and I could not, like, get myself, my logic and my intellect was telling me, be patient. That didn't work. And it wasn't working. It just was not working for me. So I was almost getting myself to the point where I was sick. So then I took a shower. I do most of my really good thinking, I guess it would be like meditating, in the shower. So I'm in the shower and I'm like, okay, if you didn't learn anything, you learned to let it go, surrender, let it go, let this go, let this problem just go. You can't do anything about it. It's out of your control. I still had the knot in my stomach, but I thought, no, it's not worth stressing over to the point that it's making you ill. And I think some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. And so I took my shower, dried myself off. She literally said, when you surrender, you don't hang your head down low. You hold your arms up like this lady in this picture. And I did that. I got out of the shower, I put my hands up like, to the sides, and I said out loud, I surrender. This is out of my hands. What will be, and that's it. So I dried myself off, got dressed, gonna go on with my day. Phone call rang, and the solution I had been waiting for was on the phone call. I was like, okay, come on. It can't be that simple. It just cannot be that simple. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna art journal this because it is just that simple. We have to learn to let things go. The universe unfolds as it should. I don't know how many times I've said this, but I am learning, as are you, on this journey we call life. And we have to let the universe show us the way and show us our answers. And sometimes they're just not the answers. They're not quick enough, first of all. Our answers are not quick enough. And they're not necessarily the answers we want to hear, but the true picture comes clear at some point. Now, I do not know why I'm using these colors. Why would I make leaves blue? But it's just what I'm feeling like right now. I want to make my leaves blue. So don't judge me on my color choices. Just looks pretty to me today. So that's why I'm doing this page on surrender. The reason I wanted to use the Buddhist flower, I think it's a lily. I'm not even sure what this is, but I'm pretty sure it's a lily. Because if there's any people on the planet Earth that are true, at peace within themselves, are true Buddhists. I mean, they just seem to have figured it all out, And they have such a kindness in their heart. And so why I'm doing it with this flower is I want to surrender not with anxiety or stress, but try to surrender with kindness in my heart for myself, to stop stressing yourself out. Don't be so hard on yourself. Everything will work out as it should work out, and let it go. Just let it go. And I think whoops, that one's supposed to be green. Oopsie. I've done pages about this before, and it's just an ongoing lesson for me. And every time it comes in my face, it's an aha moment. And it's just it seems so simple, but we all know it is not. So just to let it go. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out my pretty Technicolor lily flower there. I don't know why I use those colors, but they look pretty to me. So I'll be back. So I've come to this page in my art journal. It just happened to be the next page, and I love that it's this pop of red behind it. So I'm going to apply these things that I'm drawing and cutting out with just a gel medium. And you know, for me, when I hang on to a problem or hang on to something and I just want the solution solved, I feel like if I let go, or people go, calm down, it'll be okay, everything will be whatever it is, I feel like I almost feel like a child. I'm like, no, I know what I need. Like, you guys don't get it. If I let go, then nobody's going to care about me, no one's listening to me. And I know that I have done this topic. Actually, I'm just going to use Mod Podge because it's right here. I know I have done this topic before in my art journal pages. I think in every single one of my art journal pages, I have done this about letting go, surrendering, letting go. Because for me, it is probably my biggest vice. And I think anybody that's a little bit of a type A or a bit of a control person, you know, we're all great and good when we think we've got it all together. But the minute something goes out of our control and we want answers like yesterday to whatever it is, that's when we kind of tend to unravel. So that's why, for those of you who have been watching my art journal pages for a while and think, well, she did that one before. Well, I'm doing it again because it just, for me, needs to be done. Ooh, I want to lift this up a little tiny bit here. I just wanted to lift this up here. You'll see why in a moment. So I'm going to take my little lady, or my person, and I'm not going to make her a girl or a guy. I'm just going to be, it's just a person. Just Joe person, you know? And I am going to, this is my template that I cut out, and I'm going to cut this template out of text because I find that it's just a whole bunch of, that's what's going on in our brain, a whole bunch of chatter, 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 chatter that we just cannot seem to let go. So I'm going to cut a page out of this book here. Funny, it's called Ideas for the Almighty Dollar. Talk about stress, hey? And I cut out this little quote here. One thing you know for sure, you'll be inspired whenever you hear Oprah. And that is so true. If you ever have an opportunity, I don't even care if you're not an Oprah lover. She's totally different in person than she is on television. She's a different woman. She's like a young Maya Angelou. And just the things she says are so current because we are all, you know, we're more her age. And it just, she just hits right home. Now see my texty person? I love that with the hands outstretched. I don't know if you can see the text very well, so I'll try and hold it a little bit closer to the camera. That is all just a bunch of stuff. Just stuff that's driving us nut bar, you know? It's when I think about how many times I've done this to myself, you would think, like how many times do you have to keep putting yourself through the same thing to get the same answer? Like you get it. Like every time you let go, the problem solves. It just does. And even if it's, like I said, it may not be the solution you're looking for, but at least it's an answer and you can move on from there. Because if you don't have an answer, you feel like you're frozen in time. So let it go. It'll work itself out. I hate to keep repeating myself, but I feel like I'm talking to myself like, Monica, come on, honey. Stop stressing over things that are not within your control or just because you don't have a solution. You know? Oh, now that looks really neat. I love that. I love that it's got the Buddhist lily, although I'm sure theirs has never been quite this Technicolor. And the person with the text representing all of that stuff. Okay, I've decided that I'm just going to take this piece of white paper here and just kind of cut it kind of, you know, like whatever, curly Q-y. Kind of just random like that. Oops. I grab my pencil and move this out of the way just because it's sticky. And just kind of draw a line like that to the wide, and then wide to narrow. So it takes much more strength to know when to let go. And I'm going to put that up here. And so first I'm going to color this in with some letters that I just wanted to, I always like to do it in pencil first, and then I'm going to go over it with a Sharpie just to make sure that I got it spaced the way I wanted to do. So I've wrote my words. It takes much more strength to know when to let go. Just want to say a little something. I use Staedtler pencils. They look like this, and they already come sharpened. So I love that. But what I most like about them is the eraser on the back. It doesn't smudge at all. So, you know, you can get rid of all those eraser marks really nicely. So it's all sometimes about good supplies. And what else was I going to say about this pencil? Oh, and I also use Sharpie, ultra-fine Sharpies. Just bought a box of them at Walmart yesterday because they are permanent and they're not going to smudge when you go to Mod Podge your acrylic gel, add your gel medium on top or paint on top. They're not going to bleed. So those are a couple of supplies that I'm using when I'm art journaling that just make the job a little bit easier. So you'll probably notice I glued my Oprah statement a little bit lower down. One thing you know for sure you will be inspired is down here now, and it's covered in Mod Podge. You can't really read it. And before I put my quote on the page, I wanted to have something that represents the stuff that's in here in our head that we just need to let go. Like I want a visual of that. So I'm taking this paint, and it's called Coastal Blue. It's a very pretty color blue. And I'm just going to pour some into the cap and take a pencil, and an older pencil, not one of these good Staedtler ones. There, I don't need very much. And so I'm just going to take one of these pencils here. I just want the tip. And I'm going to do a paint technique that they do quite a bit in Papua New Guinea. They paint all their paintings with dots. Just like dots. Just like that. The entire image is done in dots. But I'm going to use those dots as the stuff that is in my head that I just have to learn to let go. So make sure I get there. There we go. That's a good size dot. So I'm just going to start here at my thought process, and we know they're not all going in, you know, straight thoughts. They get all muddled up and all confused, and all in the guise of us controlling them, right? I need to hear this, I need to do this, and I hope someone out there needed to hear it too, because, yeah, we're a little goofy, a little crazy, and we drive ourselves nuts. And for those of you who are religious, as am I often say, let go, let God. But for those of you who are not, let go and let it go to the universe. Give it to the universe, the higher power. So I'm going to let it go right off the page because I want my stuff, because that's all this is, to get gone. There. There. So my battery died in my other camera, so I was almost done anyway, so I just finished it up, but I'll just show you what I did. So there is my quote. It takes much more strength to know when to let go. And for this butterfly, I changed the GO, I wanted to add a little bit more to the page. So, you know, I added this lace. It was from a torn piece of lace, scrap lace that I had. And then I bought these, they are called chipboard shapes. And they're in the dollar, actually they were 50 cents at Michael's. So I bought 4 packages and they are loaded. There's birds and butterflies and all kinds of really cool shapes. What I loved about them is you just take your distress ink, and I used Evergreen Bow, and you can see how you just use it and go across it and get that nice raised color on the craft colored chipboard. And then I just glued this matching button, and it already had twine in it. So it takes much more strength to know when to let go. I'm going to put a coat of Mod Podge on this page after this Mod Podge dries. It'll be dried clear. So one thing we know for sure, you'll be inspired. That's for me, for when I saw Oprah. This is that Dalai Lama piece, that flower, just to remind me how peaceful and calm the Dalai Lama are. This is from the Papua New Guinea tribe, the way they paint. That's my stuff. That is going out and beyond. You can see it all going off the page. And that image is not a male or female image, because I believe a lot of this stuff applies to our male counterparts as well. And the words that are all over that image, totally, that's just totally me. You just get yourself stressed out that you can't even function because you're just sort of imprisoned by your thoughts. There's just so much going on, and you want to fix it and you want to control things, and it's out of your hands. So this is a good reminder for me. It takes much more strength to know when to let go. So I hope that helps you guys out. I really needed to do this page. I really need to get back to doing more art journaling, which I plan on doing. So I hope somebody else this page inspired or helped or did whatever, or maybe you just enjoyed the process. So thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you really, really soon. Bye.